What's up guys, I hope you're doing great. My name is Jason, and in this video, we're taking a look at the Vivobarefoot Ababa. I have here the birdie color in the canvas, and the brown in leather. Let's dive in. Before we get started, here is my foot specifications to hopefully help you judge if this shoe may be a good choice for you. As you can see here, I drew an outline around my feet and marked each foot's length, then the widest widths across the balls of my feet, as well as across my toes. The length of my left foot is 27.8 centimeters, which is slightly larger than my length of my right, which is 27.5 centimeters. The widths across the balls of my feet are also slightly different, my left being 12.1 centimeters and my right being 12.4 centimeters, and the width across my toes are very similar, left being 12.6 centimeters and the right being 12.5. As you can see here, I liked this shoe so much that I got two. I originally started with the canvas back in February of 2020, and I really enjoyed it. It was an easy slip-on, stylish enough, really convenient. I eventually, a month later, bought the leather. I thought it was maybe a bit fancier to dress up. I enjoyed the canvas, so I got another one. Problem being the winter wet weather outside still in those months for me, I ended up not wanting to ruin your brand new shoes out in that weather, so I put them aside until it warmed up. The problem was, during those months of me not wearing these shoes, but wearing other minimalist shoes, little to my knowledge, my foot was getting wider and wider while it was still adapting to this type of footwear. So as soon as I started wearing them again, it dug into my pinky toes like crazy. I tried stretching them out for several days at a time even, but inevitably, it's just the way the shoes were made, unfortunately. The leather version may have a bit more give if you try stretching them out or wearing them in. I unfortunately didn't test this, however, as I ended up selling them to a friend who was interested in them and didn't want to pointlessly wear them out. So, if you have wide feet like mine, definitely be weary of how tight it can be around these metatarsal heads, thus cutting in, really making that pinky go in towards the rest of the toes. This has actually given me a blister on the left outside of my foot here before. So if your foot is anywhere near the width of mine, you might want to steer clear of this model. This just really irritates me, as this is described by Vivobarefoot as being their widest shoe model. And I have read reviews saying that this shoe is too wide for people, but if it's anything like mine, might want to steer clear, unfortunately. It's unfortunate that my foot has pretty much literally outgrown Vivobarefoot's. Anyways, enough with my story about my feet in them. Let's talk about how great these shoes are if your feet aren't as wide as mine. So, most people in the minimalist footwear world will have heard of Vivobarefoot. It's pretty much the Nike of minimalist shoes, which scares me a little. Because of this, the prices are outrageous, and they strive to be as stylish as minimalist footwear can get, which may mean them straying away from nice, as wide, and as comfortable as possible shoe to appeal more aesthetically to more people. Specifically, the Ababa is handmade in Ethiopia, which Vivobarefoot says creates employment and supports community projects. The canvas is hand printed using all natural dyes and sustainably sourced cotton yarns, while the leather is created with wild hide of free roaming cattle. There's a bunch more info like this on the Vivobarefoot website that makes them sound absolutely great. I'll just let you read the descriptions there for each specific shoe. Here, you can see that I have both the right shoe in both the brown leather and the birdie canvas. I've worn the birdie canvas a bit more trying to get used to my foot, but just can't do it, and the leather is like new. Let's take a look at the leather first. European size 45. Red strip goes down the entire inside of the shoe. At the back, that embroidered Africa logo. The sole is all one piece coming down to the bottom with this wicked cool barefoot grip outsole. Some would think the backing would be uncomfortable due to this. It's actually not too bad. Can be a little weird when wearing socks, with this being the grippy outsole and this being the leather inside, but it's not too bad. The only thing that irritates me is, since this is so much longer here, if you're wearing certain pant legs, or this can rub on your Achilles if it's prominent on the back. Depends. The inside here has that stretch to hopefully help get it on if you need. And the birdie's very similar. Different pattern on the front. Right down the entire inside. These have worn out a little bit more for me on this shoe, wearing them a bit more to help stretch get on. The slip-on ability of these shoes are great, but since they are minimalist, you can see how the sole just completely bends when you try to use one foot, so you might need to use the lip on the end to kind of keep peeling it off as you go, starting at the heel and then working the way down the foot, especially if your feet get sweaty without wearing socks. While on the subject of that lip that goes around the entire edge of the shoe, it has been snagged on the underside of the brake pedal for me before, which can be pretty terrifying if you are wanting to wear these shoes a lot while driving. Definitely keep this in mind. So, if your foot isn't as wide as mine, you should enjoy these shoes quite a bit. I hope you guys found this review helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!